Let's turn our attention to that big political story unfolding in the Northwest. The ANC is expected to announce a new executive leadership. Now, on Tuesday, the party announced that former struggle stalwart and Robben Island prisoner Bushy Maape as premier-elect, following the removal of embattled Premier Job Mokgoro. But it's the word removal which seems to be a problem. In the meantime, Mokgoro has not officially resigned from his position, nor the provincial legislature. So what does it mean, not just for the possibly outgoing, but also the incoming, and also what it means for the ANC and those living in the province? So let's unpack the developments with political analyst from the Northwest University. Always a pleasure, Professor Andre Duvenhage. Professor Duvenhage, good morning. I think let's first of all start with what seems to be a split in who should be in charge and their supporters. It seems some ANC infighting in the Northwest. What do you make of it?
Morning, Gareth. Yes, indeed, your summary is quite right. It is a complicated situation in an extremely complicated province. And just to give background, under Article 100 of the Constitution, the province is put under administration, and the majority of local government structures are currently also under in terms of Article 139 of the Constitution. Now, if you look at the position of the Premier must work towards an interim provincial committee led by Chowki. And then there's an administrator, and then we all have a complicated situation within the province in terms of factional battles with a history dating back to about 1994. Just to say that the position of any premier is close possible. Now, the ANC provided a number of reasons why they want to take Premier Job Mokgoro out. Not following ANC struck conflict with the APC. There is no progress in terms of service delivery and the turnaround process with local government. He is not basically engaging with the people, and there was also allegations of a rogue unit within his office. And therefore, the National Executive Committee decided to appoint a new premier. They had 3 candidates, and they choose Bushy Maape. But clearly, there's a lot of resistance also against this decision. And as far as I know, at this point, there was no resignation from Premier Professor Mokgoro, and he also needs to resign from the legislature.
So that's where we're going to get stuck on the backwards and forwards, the resignation, the non-resignation, the handover of power. Professor, perhaps it's worth us just taking viewers back to just a few years ago, Mokgoro as well. We saw protests during that tenure as well. It has been quite a tumultuous time for the province. If and when it seems that the ANC are going to have Job Mokgoro removed from his position and bringing in Bushy Maape, do you foresee a situation where we're going to see calm restored, A, and B, daily lives of those living in the province are going to be better?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think the position of any premier, including that of Bushy Maape, is going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible. In a way, he will be here. I had a lot of confidence in Premier Professor Job Mokgoro, and I had a conversation with him a few weeks back, and it was clear that his position is nearly about impossible. And with the current instability, and we must also take into consideration this instability is not exclusive to Northwest. On a provincial level, it's also going down to a local level, and it's linking to the national level in terms of the bigger factions. We are picking up the Ramaphosa line versus the RET group, and there are rumors that Mr. Job Mokgoro is linking himself to Mr. Maape, although he say that this is not the case. But clearly, an unstable environment, and an unstable environment is not healthy for any form of service delivery. And in the majority of local government structures, we have already seen the complete failure of service delivery and municipalities under administration.
And before we can see any kind of resolution, we need some kind of decisions to be made in the Northwest as well. But for the moment, Professor, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. Political analyst, always a pleasure. Northwest University Professor Andre Duvenhage joining us here on eNCA.